based on the Most High. You're correct.
Correct. So
I'm in agreement with you on that.
As far as whom I serve the Most High God of all gods. Who is
funny
that?
How most people
it's
feel
indescribable.
The need to place priority on if it's the right one. It's like, no, man. If you don't know, keep looking.
We'll keep seeking. Yeah, I tell everyone, just keep seeking.
But some people, they
what
settle
right
for less.
You? Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because other people tell them to. Like,
well,
because
they're lazy.
Yeah.
Because nobody wants to be self-accountable to do the work to find out the truth. Because half the time they're scared to even find out the truth. Because when you find out the truth, that means that you now have to be placed in the seat of accountability. Because when you become aware, like the old definition of what is a habit. Okay, a habit is something that you do that you don't know you're doing, that you do continuously and perpetually over and over and over. The second or moment you become aware of this thing that you do perpetually over and over and over, it no longer becomes a habit. Now it becomes a choice, and whatever you reap from that action is what you reap from that action. The consequences, good, bad, or otherwise, right?
That's why ignorance is bliss, but it is also binding.
Binding in what do you mean by that?
In a sense, it's what tethers us to this world. Not knowing and being okay with that.
Which
We're not
world?
supposed to be okay with
But which world?
this one right here.
This dimension, this world, as far as what you consider the world to be, because remember, there are many worlds, there are many earths, there are many dimensions, there's a lot of everything.
And as I said, ignorance is bliss, but it's binding. If they're not able to get over that or accept that fact as truth, even though it's obvious in every aspect of life, then you never see it.
Remember that they matters not to you. What matters to you is what you need to do to this world. And the they that you perceive and observe on is created out of your consciousness. No different than I am a creation from your consciousness. Do you know that observation is literally creating or creation? Everything that you see is something that you're creating in that moment. Let me ask you this question. This is a mind-boggling question. This will mess you up.
Let me get started real quick.
Okay.
I'm still listening.
This is one of the coldest questions that was presented to me years ago. And I had to pause for a moment. Imagine, for the sake of argument, there was a young boy born on an island in the middle of the ocean, okay? This boy only knows its mother. This woman and this boy have seen nothing but the island, the ocean, fish, trees, coconuts, and nothing else. Has no idea that they're even on Earth, has never even conceptualized, nor have they spoken about anything other than their own interaction of existing on this island in the middle of nowhere. This island is small, it's not very big, or otherwise. Now, the question is this. If a major boat, big old cruise line boat, is coming towards the island, and the boy is standing on the shore,
what does he see?
Does the boy see a boat coming towards the island, or does he just see the waters moving and no boat? If he's never even known about a boat, never even seen a boat, never even seen another human being other than its mother, never seen a fork or spoon, a plate, never seen a car, never even heard of anything of this world's creation. Does the mind allow him to see the boat coming, if you even know what a boat is, nor heard of a boat of any sort? Or does he just see the waves moving and something making the waves move that is invisible? That's the question. If you've never known of a thing, does your mind create a boat if you know that there's a boat? Meaning this, can you perceive something you know nothing about? Can you visualize non-existence? That's the question. Some people have argued with me, oh yeah, I mean, you're going to see the boat coming. I mean, it's a physical object, Mike. Well, how, if you've never left the island, you only know this woman, you've had conversation here and there, but it's been nothing other than eating and sleeping, shitting and pissing, and just existing. There's no other form of evidence that there's anything other than this island that you know about. There's some trees, some fish, and that's it. That's all you've ever known. You've never known of anything else. Do you know how to talk? Yes, because she's taught you how to speak English, okay? But a boat is coming towards the island. It's about a mile out and it's huge, okay? It's like an aircraft carrier. Do you physically, consciously see it coming towards it, or you just see waters moving? Which is it? It's like the old question of, if a tree falls in the forest and no one's there to hear it, does it make a sound? These are interesting questions. So I say all that to say,
I add more to the saying that I just came up with. Ignorance is bliss and it's binding until you're no longer ignorant. Because if he never asks the question, or like you said, even if he sees it but cannot define it because he's never encountered it before.
But how can he see something he doesn't even know exists?
In a more relatable context, that's like us seeing a flying saucer.
But you've heard somewhere in your life that there is something called a UFO, an unidentified flying object. You've seen a plane, a bird.
That boy would have had to be conditioned by someone else who already knows. Or doesn't know, and then fills him with false knowledge.
Well, okay, in some sense, but see,
his
you
mom
only
could come up and
know.
be like, that's another island. It's a moving island, but they're not going to leave the island, correct?
But he'd only see something that is, if the island that he's on is round and it has trees, he can only visualize.
He has to leave to know. He has to go to
even be able to conceptually, visually see a boat coming.
And in that moment of choosing to beg to differ or to find out, that's when he's no longer ignorant. The question is already the first step, but it's not enough. You know what I'm saying? You know exactly what I'm saying. It's up to the boy if he wants to continue to being ignorant or define it for himself. Whether the context is right or not, that doesn't matter to him. Everyone else will say it does because they're from a big city or from a rural country. They've encountered it. But to him, it's totally different.
Well, here's my...
Or it's nothing, like you said.
Here's my question to your statement. How can you develop a drive to seek out more if you've never heard that there's anything more to seek out? Other than, this is all you know, and this is no... If you ask, is this where we're at? We're on this island. But you don't even know that there's anything other than this ocean and this island. That's all. She's never tempted you. She's never, questioned you. She's never asked, hey, do you know that way out there, if you swim and swim and swim, you're going to come to this thing called another island. What is that? What you're standing on? Well, this is called an island? Huh. Interesting.
Because there's no reference point. So
there's no reference for him to even ask the question of what's more out there. You see what I'm saying? Is that true? Is that not true?
It's true if that's all that ever happens.
See, I say all these things because these are great mental exercises for the mind to get the mind going, because hopefully somewhere along your path you will begin to continuously seek that which inspires you, that which drives you, that which motivates you. So you're never just complacent with, oh, I achieved my goal, therefore I'm done. No, you want more.
I hear you.
You want more. That's why I ask these kind of thought-provoking questions.
And the reason I find the value in that exercise itself is because it also teaches you to drop what you think you know. Because one factor can change it, then the whole thing is changed.
Yeah.
You take that boy, you bring him here, there's so many things he doesn't know.
He'll pass out.
Shock.
It's overload.
Shock.
Okay.
Won't know what to do. Won't know where to go.
That's why when you unplug a mind, that's why in the Matrix they reference you can't free a mind past a certain age. It's not the number that they're talking about. It is the conditioning of the illusion of the Matrix that the world is this. The world is round. People do this. 2.5 kids. White picket fences. The American dream. Morality is this. Good and bad is this. Right? But when somebody comes in and tells you all of that's a lie and none of it's real, can you deal with the abrupt change? Can you even believe that there's something more to this life other than what someone gave you? Will you ever question mom and dad that the burner's hot? Will you ever question the questions? Will you ever are you just going to be complacent with who gave it to
content.
you? Or will you seek out who gave it to them? And then who gave it to grandma? And then who gave it to great-grandma? And great-great-grandfather? You know what I'm saying? All the way back to the origin of human beings being created. And why?
It's all linked together. The thing is, like we both just stated, the awareness of that is what allows you to realize I have another option.
The awareness of what?
of everything, of what's going on, what's not going on, or whether or not that matters to you. It's an individual choice to decide, do I want to move or am I complacent? Am I content? It should never be that way.
Well, it should never be that way until you have achieved your goal. The only reason why one should probably move and continue on in their evolutionary journey called life is for the pursuit of achieving why they were created in the first place. You're created for something called purpose. You have a reason. Like the Matrix calls it, a program is created for a particular reason. If it does not have a purpose, it is deleted.
It's obsolete. Yeah. It's replaced.
So that's in and of itself is what I want to do with my purpose in life, is to help people understand that their ability to exist, I mean their reason for existence, has a purpose.
Is not to be deleted.
And they're here to achieve something. Yes. And the only way to get there is to deprogram while reprogramming it.
Rewire your mind.
Well, they always ask, well, why do I need to deprogram? Well, because you've been lied to.
Yes.
Well, by
that's
who?
the hardest part, right?
And therein lies the Pandora's box being opened. Now, most people, depending on their age of experience, have a hard time letting go. Like I always say, we're not afraid
Free
of
your mind.
success.
Yeah.
We're afraid of letting go of the life that we've lived that represents non-success.
The illusion.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. Hey,
That's
brother,
why I love doing this.
I don't know if she's at Napa.